How many of you have a fear of flying? Before boarding an aircraft, how many of you say a silent prayer or wish that the flight would be uneventful? Quite a few. Last year, on December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas, I did the same. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. I was returning back home after a trip overseas. I was assigned the window seat. Next to me sat a stocky, middle-aged man. As I never got to know his name, I shall refer to him as Buddy. And next to him, in the aisle seat, sat a young Indian. As his name was a tongue twister, I shall refer to him as TT. Being typically men, the three of us never spoke to one another when the plane was on the tarmac, except once when Buddy turned to TT and said, "Excuse me, please, I am extreme diabetic. I need to go washroom frequent." And TT nodded, said, "Fine." After the plane took off, the meals were being served. The flight attendant asked us what we'd like to drink. I said, "Orange juice." TT said, "Apple juice." And Buddy's response was, "Please, could I have some wine?" She handed a bottle of wine and a glass. The three of us ate our food silently. After a few minutes, Buddy suddenly turned to me, pointed to his wine, and asked, "Excuse me, please, but you no drink?" I said, "No, I quit drinking long ago." And he said, "Very good." I turned to TT, "You no drink?" TT said, "I have not started drinking." "Very good," he said. Just then, a flight attendant was passing by. He stopped and said, "Excuse me, please, 3 bottle wine. One for Buddy here, one for Buddy here, one for me." I looked at him in surprise. But he said, "No problem." She came and placed the 3 bottles of wine on our trays. When she left, he grabbed the 2 bottles and put it in the pouch in front of his seat. He then began to drink the wine straight from the bottle, one after another. It never ceases to amaze me how alcohol not only expands blood vessels, but also communication. He began chatting to the 2 of us like we're old friends. He said, "This is my first trip to Canada. My wife back home. I want to enjoy New Year in Toronto." I said, "Whoa, your party has already begun." Indeed it had. He kept getting round after round of wine for the 3 of us and having it himself. I was beginning to get a bit worried. Excess alcohol and chronic diabetes is not a good combination. What if he has a health emergency during this flight? Or worse still, what if he throws up on my seat? But it was when he started getting more boisterous and animated that I got anxious. How many of you have heard of planes being forced to turn back because of unruly drunk passengers or those with a medical condition? Today, this passenger was about to fulfill both. I did not want this flight to be disrupted. I wanted to be home for Christmas. It was when he ordered yet another round of wine. To me, that was the final straw, or rather, the final bottle. I had to do something. When he made his next visit to the washroom, I quickly got out of my seat and marched towards the cockpit. I stopped at the foot galley when I saw a flight attendant. Thanks to the table topics training, I was able to think quickly on my feet, literally. My opening line got her attention immediately. I said, "There is a potential threat on this plane. My co-passenger, he's drunk, he's restless, and he has a health problem. Please give me some cheese and crackers to fill his stomach." She quickly gathered the food and handed them to me and said, "Thank you so much. You are a good man, taking care of passenger and taking care of plane." I smiled and waited for her next words. "Because of your good deed, I will upgrade you to first class." Those words, however, never escaped from her lips. I had to take the food and make my way back to my seat. Again, the Toastmasters training came to my rescue. I had just completed an assignment in the communication manual titled Speak to Persuade. I sat down. I told him, listen, if you continue to drink like this and you reach Toronto drunk, they'll put you back on the same plane and send you back home. You'll then be forced to spend the new year with your wife. I gave him a call for action. I said, stop drinking immediately and eat the food I gave you. To my surprise, he became as quiet as a mouse, and he ate up all the cheese. This was the best feedback I had ever received. A few minutes later, I tried to sleep, and I was now disturbed by another noise. I turned around, and there he was, fast asleep. I just described to you how, thanks to the skills I acquired at Toastmasters, I was able to successfully defuse a potential threat on the plane by a passenger who was about to turn himself into a WMD, a weapon of mass disruption. Fellow Toastmasters, the next time you fly, the skies will be much safer when you hear announcements just like this one. Attention passengers, we have an emergency, but everything is under control. We have a Toastmaster on board. Thank you.